The two biggest problems in non duality are things that you didn't even decide for yourself, but that you hold tightly to. That's why self examination ends in realization. You examine these things, see that they aren't false, see that they aren't true, see that they are false, and boom, they fall away. Like a really good example, what is that movie? Steve Martin, the idiot. He grows up with a black family and he's convinced he's black. And the movie goes through these series of things where he realizes he's white. And as soon as he realizes he's white, well, I mean, he always was from the beginning. Right? So self-examination in non-duality is real like that. If you're examining and looking for just like weird concepts that result in like just tons and tons of explanation, you're going in the wrong way. We're looking for something that's really, really obvious. So, what are these two problems? These two things that you've been convinced. One is that you have never been told who you are. This is what I've discovered through my studies of Native spirituality. The difference between an indigenous person and us broken conqueror people is that an indigenous person, from the time that they're born, is always told who they are. And they're told who they are in a very earth-based, real way. They're told you're from this tribe and this clan. And this creates like this solid state of knowing who you are. And all of us, even in our very broken society, we are somebody. We could be taught from the day that we're born who we are. If we haven't been taught that, we can find it. You are you. In non-duality, the way we search for this is we search for something that doesn't have definitions, but that simply means no English definition, no word on it. It doesn't need a word. If you had been born in a particular clan and in an earth-based society, you could be told who you are through the words of the language of that society. But we are not born that way. So simply accept this as a reality. We have to find who we are without a definition. Who are you? Do you know who you are? You want to get to a point where there's a solid yes on that. Yes, I know who I am. I have always been me. So if from the day you were born, you had always been told who you are, you would have an enlightened life. That's the first problem. The second problem is that we're split and divided. All sorts of little things have happened to you through your life who have split you out of your core and made you project onto things. And so you're given all these subtle messages that you are this projection, like you are beautiful. New Age teachings are horrible this way, because a New Age teacher will say something like, you are the embodiment of pure love. That splits you off from yourself. You try to be this thing rather than who you are. And who you are is able to see pure love and be this embodiment. But the second you say it and name it and try to become it, you become divided. We take little babies and we shake rattles in front of them and we give them fancy things to look at above their crib. And when they smile, we tell them they're good. And then we dress little girls up in pretty little dresses and we give boys balls and we tell them, this is who you are. So our, we're constantly, constantly, constantly told that we are this split rather than who you actually are, which is just boom, yourself. So these are the two problems. If we can overcome these two problems, boom, you're just right there at awakening. Number one, do you know who you are? You want that answer to be yes. Do you know who you are? Yes. Can you be convinced that you are not you? No. We want this firmness. Do you know who you are? Yes. I'm me. You and me don't need anything more than that. I'm me. Feel your solid you-ness coming from, your point of view is coming from yourself. My point of view comes from me. I'm me. I'm not my projection. So number one, know who you are. Just know it. Feel that solidness. Number two, and the two things both go together, right? Number two, don't believe the projections. And this is what non-dual teachings usually work on, the not believing the projections. You'll go to a non-dual retreat in which you'll sit there and they'll ask you, who are you? And you'll say, I am a woman. And then it's like, no, you peel that away. That's not really all you are. And so you peel away until you kind of get to this place of nothingness. But we're still projecting onto this nothingness, and we project. It feels empty and scary. So do these two things together. Who are you? You're not your projections. Who are you? You're not your projections. And know these things have been given to you outside of yourself. You now hold on to it firmly, and you constantly work to teach other people these same mistakes. But if you had never been taught these things in your whole life, you would live an enlightened life, knowing who you are, never sucking into that narcissistic projection, always being the solid being that you are. So know that these things did not come from you originally. You're choosing them now. The second you see them for what they are, you will choose to not do that anymore because it's just so obvious who you are if you just look. Well, actually, you can't look because there's you and you're looking, blah, blah, but non-duality, right? But just step into who you are. It's just that simple.